Hello everyone, this is Brett. Today I'm going to start a new series here, which I've been doing on Instagram, calling it Eclectic Playlist, where I just show 9 albums that have been in rotation over the last week. And this will be the first one. So, just one of the greatest news announcement of the last week was when Jane's Addiction announced that Eric Avery, original bass player, songwriter, from Jane's Addiction is rejoined the band. They're working on new recordings and then the tour coming up later in the year with Smashing Pumpkins. So I had to pull out the first, what's known as the Triple X album, their self-titled 1987 live album. You know, with a couple tracks that would be re-recorded for Nothing Shocking, Jane Says, Pigs and Zen. But then you also have non-album tracks like Trip Away, 1%, Whores, Chip Away, I Would For You, and then a couple covers, Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil, and the Velvet Underground's Rock and Roll, one of my favorite albums of all time. Had to pull that one out. And then, also, just about a month ago, it was announced that Martin Lenoble, the original bass player of Porno for Pyros, Perry Farrell's post-Jane's Addiction band, and Stephen Perkins, the drummer of Jane's Addiction, Porno for Pyros. So I pulled this out because they had just played at Lollapalooza, and their original bass player, Martin Lenoble, rejoined the band, and they're working on new recordings as well. So for a huge Jane's Addiction and Perry Farrell related project fan, what a great month of announcements. So this is their first one, which had the song Pets, which was a alternative radio hit back then, and Sadness, just a really unique blend. The drumming and the bass playing on this, super unique. If you're unfamiliar, check out Sadness, Cursed Female, Pets, of course. So Porno for Pyros, their first album. And in their original run, they only put out 2 records, that one and Good God's Urge in 1996. I was fortunate to see Porno for Pyros a couple times. The first one just a month or so, a few weeks before that album came out. They played at a venue here, which is no longer in Phoenix, called Compton Terrace. We had an alternative radio station back then called KUKQ, and they put on a yearly festival. And the band X played Rage Against the Machine in their early days. They were early, and I think they played at like 3 p.m. Best Kissers in the World, and Robin Hitchcock and the Egyptian. Porno for Pyros were the headliner. So super excited about those first 2. Hopefully we'll get some new music soon. Next up was this band, 4AD Diffuse, or Diffuse, some people pronounce it. Kind of ambient, almost post-rock. There's some saxophones on this one. It's really dreamy, meditative. This was their 3rd and final record. It came out in 1985, called Extractions. Elizabeth Fraser from the Cocteau Twins sings on this song. I think it's called Love Insane. And Robin Guthrie of the Cocteau Twins produced it. So check that one out. My favorite track on this one is called Twin and Earth. It's the closing track. I had this on yesterday. I was laying on the couch and it was raining and it was just kind of perfect. All right, next up, this band, if you watched my best albums of 2022 so far, their new one came out this year, and it's one of my favorites. This is Placebo. This is their 1996 debut album, self-titled. It's so crazy to hear. I mean, to think that this came out 26 years ago now. But this one had Nancy Boy, which was one of the singles, 36 Degrees. My favorite song on this one is probably Teenage Angst. Unfamiliar with Placebo? Do check them out. All right, next one up. This is Wardruna. This is Norwegian kind of folk music. Lots of cool percussion, vocals, non-traditional instruments. If you're a fan of Dead Can Dance, I think this would fall right into your wheelhouse. So this was their 5th record. This came out in 2021. Wardruna, and stands for White Raven, and Kvit Raven is the name of the album, which translates to White Raven. What I really loved about this, and there's the White Raven in the gatefold, is the booklet it's a double record, and the booklet in here, which is really, really nice, if I can get it out. You get a nice 12 by 12 book, which has pictures, and it has all the lyrics, which are in Norwegian, and then it has translations in English of all those songs as well. So very cool. Wardruna, if you're unfamiliar, highly recommend. I know they're touring here in North America later in the year. So Wardruna. Next one up. This is one of the first records I ever bought years and years ago. And this is Iggy Pop's Blah Blah Blah, his 1986 album. It was produced by David Bowie, and it has the song that a lot of people know, Real Wild Child, but probably the best song on here is Cry for Love. So yeah, so I hadn't pulled this out in a super long time, and we were listening to Brick by Brick yesterday, his 1990 album, which has the song Candy, which had Kate Pearson from the B-52 singing backing vocals. So we ended up pulling this up and listened to this morning and really enjoyed. Next one up, this is Danzig, 666 Satan's Child. I kind of didn't really pursue much Danzig after the fourth album, Danzig 4. So these some of his later albums have been getting reissued, including this one. And I was really pretty much unfamiliar with it, but the opening track, Five Finger Crawl, really quite good, so I'm looking forward to digging into this a little bit more. Danzig, 666 Satan's Child. Continuing on with a little bit more metal, this is Mercyful Fate with The Beginning. This was a 1987 compilation. Mercyful Fate, Danish heavy metal band fronted by the great King Diamond. And this comp is an 8-song EP album, and the first 4 tracks are on from their 1982 EP debut, Nuns Have No Fun. And then on side 2 are 4 songs that are like alternate versions of tracks from their first album, Melissa. And this is a reissue on Metal Blade, which is on this cool Hellfire Flames, I guess you could call it. And there's the band on the back cover. Mercyful Fate, if you're unfamiliar, check it out. King Diamond's vocals are quite unique. Mercyful Fate, The Beginning. All right, and last up from this week's playlist is, this was, I think, my favorite album the year that it came out, which is 2019 now. And this is Ghosteen from Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Beautiful artwork on that one. What I really love about the later era Nick Cave is just how kind of like mellow it is, always poetic, and just kind of dreamy and meditative. And since, I think, Push the Sky Away, Skeleton Tree, Ghosteen, just have all been, in my opinion, just some of his best work of all time. So there you have it. Let me know what you guys have been listening to in the comments. Anything on my list that is new to you or you're going to be checking out. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.